had like sharp.
Starting. All right. This is Paiges, December of 24. It's barely December. Today's the 1st of December. Yeah, December 1st. Okay. Once last we wrote for Paiges, we're halfway or so through a market trip. And Selene had bought a mule named Pigeon and needed to get it back at some point in time fairly soon to make arrangements for it to be kept in the stables, that kind of thing. Rosie had, partially at least, endured her test as to whether or not she would be allowed to be trained in the academy, and it turns out she will not be trained in the academy. They said that they didn't really have a place for her with what she already knew, and then the lady that she spoke with told her that she would look into finding her a more individual master who might be interested in training her as an apprentice. In the meantime, she is waiting for that to be resolved and will be serving in her normal house page duties. Okay? Again, remember, if you purchase a horse, you'll have to make arrangements to have it taken care of because you'll be in training. So. Okay? So the three of you had met back up after Rosie's attempt at joining the academy, and about half of your time on recreation is gone, and you've got about a little less than an hour before you have to be back. And bear in mind that if you go back after recreation time, you will have less time to make arrangements for your animals that ideally should be taken care of during recreation. So you'll get back with like 15-20 minutes to at least arrange a place for Pigeon to stay and find out what it's going to cost you, that kind of thing. Okay?
I really want to go see our dog.
He's not in this city.
I know.
2 days travel away. Okay?
Gives it 2 days.
It's also not a Benelux yet either. So.
It's like a 2 days.
But we get 2 days off. What if we...
I said you get 2 days off. You don't have 2 days off. You get 2 hours a day off. You get a weekend. It's not like a 5-day work week. This is your servants. So, and they don't stop needing servants on the weekends just because you feel like it. No less. In fact, truthfully, there's no less business conducted on the
If we do.
So if you get a couple of days off, then you could make a trip. And actually, what I said was, if you get a full day off, you could, with horses, Pigeon and horses, for example, you could probably make it to and from the tree in 1 day, the same day, and not have to camp there overnight, because that would require 2 days off. So that's probably
right now, we're not really in the best reputation to ask for that yet.
Well, I mean, you're training to become a senior page, so if you become a senior page, then your past indiscretions will probably be behind you. If you're actually squired and attached to a knight of some significance, same thing. So, okay. Anyway, so we're in the marketplace. It's still pretty busy. You're in the town part of the marketplace. You did go in town. So this is where not just produce and agricultural products, but also things like weapons and adventuring gear, tools, all the smiths are in here, that kind of thing. Alright? What do you do?
Hey, Selena, I have a thing I want to show you.
Okay.
And I pick up a knife,
Okay.
I open it, and I click the little frog.
Okay. So a frog appears and falls on the ground quite awkwardly. It looks like it might have kind of been painful for the frog not dropping 3 feet to the ground.
Oops.
Oh my gosh.
It's a large bull-mouthed frog.
I went down and I picked him up because it looked like it hurt.
Yeah, he doesn't really scramble. He's still stunned from being dropped on his head.
Why the heck would you do?
I killed the knife.
You push the button. Okay, the frog disappears.
Next time you open it, close it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it makes a large frog. It's about this big.
I bought it.
The knife shop?
Yeah.
Why are you always buying strange knives?
It's knives
Like
are
an
cool.
obsession.
That's a pretty cool knife. Is it a real frog? Can it eat flies?
Yes.
It's not like fake.
No, it's a real frog.
I can make a real frog too.
Yeah.
How often can you push a button?
You guys just click it right. It looks like anytime.
Can I try kicking?
There's no limitations.
Can I click the
Well,
button?
that's more often than I can make frogs. But I can make a bunch of frogs at once, not just one frog.
Okay.
Dan, can I click the button?
Yeah. I open up the knife bag. Just click the middle frog.
So I grab it, but I put my hand under it, so when it comes out, I can catch it.
Okay. You push the button?
Yeah.
Okay. The frog appears on your hand. It's kind of sideways for a second, and it kind of like struggles over, and its eyes get real big, and it's standing up.
Here, take
And it just sits there looking.
Where does he go when you push the button? Where does he go?
Back into the knife.
He disappears.
Disappears into the...
You're holding it now. Will it be fine?
He can't fit in the knife. Two. I hope I was hoping for a low number.
Yes, the frog disappears.
Hey, see? It just goes back into the knife.
Yeah, but it's not like it can fit in the middle of the knife. Where does it go?
It's got to be magic.
Yes.
Yeah, does it like leads it into a swamp? But then what if it dies in the swamp? It just doesn't come back? A swamp, a rainforest,
Oh.
or something. Somebody's backyard?
I don't know.
I suppose if it's in danger, you just push the button to go back in the knife. So then
Yeah,
unless
but-
something destroys the knife.
The only way that the frog, if you kill the frog,
What if the frog dies
Then
in the
the frog
dimension it goes into when he's in the knife?
he's in the knife. I don't think anybody else would travel into the knife.
No, but she said if it dies before it goes in the knife.
Oh, then it
No,
won't
I
work
was
anymore.
talking about in the dimension inside the knife.
If it dies inside there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that sense? Does it die of old age?
If you break the knife, maybe it breaks. Maybe it dies. I'm not testing it. I pulled the knife into the knife.
I wouldn't test it either.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go look at the horses' prices. If you guys wanna come, real quick.
I got pigeon.
That's fine with me. I got really nothing to do. I could buy some stuff, but
Do you want a wide
I
pigeon?
don't need much of anything. Sure. Start walking? That sounds good.
I'll walk.
I mount on pigeon and then help pull up. Help Rosie up.
And
Alright.
I'll just be supported at the bottom.
She swings up on the saddle, no problem. Or on the soft saddle.
Alright. Head. Where are we supposed to be going anyways?
Pigeon pees on the street.
Okay.
Where's the stable?
You're heading to the corral.
Yes.
Okay. You saw one, so you know where to go. Back up the street.
We're
on the
going.
left, past the intersection.
Also,
Okay. When you, as you're going down that street parallels the gate and the wall.
Yeah.
So, and outside that wall is the marketplace. And just as you're passing there, you hear Roy's raised voices at the gate.
Let's go up on a mule.
Like there's some people yelling at each other. Are you going to delay long enough to find out what's going on?
you guys go. Since you're on the thing, I'll keep walking.
Go back.
Go to Royal's voice. I'll meet you at the grill. If something bad, come find me. Something bad.
We have stones.
Let's go.
We'd have to have it. Okay, bossy pants. Oh, go.
Okay.
I keep.
That's an Elven word that means you're being sassy. Apparently.
This ain't go.
Okay. And so
Just go.
you edge the mule over closer, and you can see that a bit of a crowd has gathered.
Yeah. I get off the mule just in case, but I keep Rosie on it and basically just leave it. Unless she wants me down.
Sure, that's fine. All right. When you get there, you realize that the argument is taking place between two merchants who were, one was leaving apparently, his wagon is facing the direction of leaving, and the other was coming. And by whatever circumstance, one of the wagon's wheel has been damaged, and they were like apparently passing in the gate, which is a little tight for wagons to pass. Usually they go one at a time when they're out. But it looks like the one guy's front wheel at the other guy's back wheel, and you don't know whose fault it was, and that seems to be what they're arguing about. They're yelling back and forth to each other in common. And you see that the guardsmen there are 4 of them.
We're just laughing.
And they're standing by, watching, waiting for it to sort itself out. You do know that when you came through here before, there were 5 or 6 guardsmen, and now there are only 4. You don't know why. Anyway, you see them going. You steered left. You steered right. I did not.
Keep walking. Let's go.
You've damaged my wagon wheel. You damaged my wagon wheel. Not my fault. Yours is more damaged than mine. I have an extra wagon wheel. Let's just get yours fixed. Well, that's just fair because it's your fault. It is not. It's your fault. The guy in the crowd goes, punch him in the nose.
Okay.
Now, I don't want this to break into a fight here. There'll be no fighting in the street, one of the guards says.
Okay. Go fight in the back alley.
You wanted to comment, you should have been there. All right. Okay, roll a d20 if you would.
Okay. I'm just holding the rules in my hand. 10. Right in the middle.
And what is your wisdom?
My wisdom is 17. My
Okay.
highest number.
All right, so as you're standing there and you're watching, you notice that there's probably about 20, 30 people that are standing around watching. Men and women, mostly adults. There's a couple of kids. All human, pretty much. You don't see anyone. And 4 guardsmen are standing kind of side by side in a line facing the 2 wagons. And they're in the middle of the street, and no one can enter or exit through this gate without climbing over the wagons while they're sorting themselves out. And right now they're actually they're enlisting 2 of the guards to come, and they just by sheer muscle they're going to pull the wagons apart because they're tangled at the wheel and begin to replace the one's got a broken wheel and get it replaced. And at the same time they're kind of holding the horses steady, and it's a bit of an operation. However, as you're standing there, something catches the corner of your eye, and you look. So you're standing facing the gate. The tower's here, the wagons are in front of you right here, the guards are right here, and the crowd's all kind of standing around watching. And then something out of the corner of your eye over here, you notice, and you look, and you see the wall goes out from the tower, and the wall's about 15 feet high, and it's wide enough on top for people to walk. So it's a big wall with a ramp, and it's got ramparts and like that. And you see about 40, 50 feet down from the tower, somebody has lowered a rope from the wall down on the inside.
Uh-oh.
Do you think it could be a robber?
It's possible. Who they would be robbing coming down the wall like that.
They could have been like robbing the people inside. Is there a way inside from the roof?
Not directly. There are buildings that are built right up against it that would like potentially drop onto it, but that's not where the rope is. The rope goes down. It looks like it goes into a spot between buildings, but another way.
That'd definitely be a place something would go down.
Okay. At that point, then you see a shadowy figure up on top of the wall, hunched down pretty well. I mean, it's not bright outside. The sun is set. So it's in twilight. There is nighttime light. And within 20 minutes or so, it'll be dark. But right now, it's still kind of light a little bit, like twilight. And you see that shadowy figure that might be human, is hunched down, dressed in tight-fitting clothing. So you don't see like armor or weapons protruding off anything like that. And they're pulling up the rope. At first you don't realize it, but then you see the bottom of the rope is about a third of the way up, and then you see the bottom of the rope is like halfway up. Then it's like 2/3 of the way up, and you realize they must be pulling up the rope. And now the rope is completely up.
What is the ground made out of?
Stone.
What?
Stone.
Just a precaution for you in case anything happens. Because I do have stone grip. In case needed, and I'm standing on stone.
Okay. So then you see, after a moment, you've been watching for like over a minute. Okay. Alright, so you're going to go that way on foot. You're going to leave Rosie sitting there on the horse, or you're going to take her on the mule, or you're going to take her with you? It's only about 40 yards. Down, back, got to get back out of the crowd a little bit, and then go straight down the road. And then you got to turn to the right and head toward the wall. Okay, so you quickly climb the mule. She helps you get in place. Roll a dex check to make sure you don't have a problem getting up while she's already up there.
Dex check is
D20 low. Equal to or less than your dex.
7.
No problem. Alright, so you swing up on the saddle. You want to be in front of her or behind her?
In front, so because she doesn't have this line or anything.
Okay. And you want to see it from the front or the back. It doesn't matter. Just really want to reach around her or not. If you ride in the back, you reach around her so you can't hold her on. If you ride in the front, then she holds on to you. Okay, anyway, you're in front, and you turn the mule, and it takes a moment to get out of the crowd. So he's edging forward. He's kind of like bumping people, he's swinging his head side to side and like to move people, nudge them, or just kind of motion for them to move as you're striding forward. And then all of a sudden, there's a woman there who has a large handbag. It's about 2 foot across by about 2 foot deep, maybe a foot thick, and she has it on her shoulder. And he veers suddenly to the right and looks like he's going to try to bite her handbag, maybe. So you can rein his head over and not let him do that if you want, right? So you make a riding roll. D20 low, yeah.
17.
Okay.
And how low that is.
It's based on dexterity. What is your dexterity?
My D?
Yes.
16.
Okay. So what happens is, like you go to pull his head back, but he moves real quicker than you expected him to, and he sticks his nose into the bag. And then you do rein him back. Well, when you rein him back, his head pulls on the bag and like pulls away from her a little bit, and she turns and realizes that he's eating out of your bag or something, and she says, "What are you doing?" And she pulls the bag away and she looks in it to see what happens, and you realize that there's something on his face. It's kind of tan, crusty material that's on his nose and around his mouth, and he's chewing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Your mule's eating my pie!
I did not know.
You're going to have to pay for that.
No. Goodbye. I will. How much was it?
5 copper.
$2 extra as an apology.
Thank you. By gosh, I've never seen anything like that. And she's talking about it the whole way as she's walking away. Mule stuck his nose in my bag, ate my pie.
Well,
Pigeon!
He snorts.
If you were hungry, I would have given you an apple.
as he does that, just all the stuff falls off his face.
Alright, so you're edging forward to where you saw the person pull up the rope?
Yes.
Okay, 40 yards down the way. Roll a d20 for me if you would.
Alright.
What is your wisdom?
Oh. It's lower than that. I'm not tired. 13.
Okay. So as you left them,
Yeah.
and you're headed down the street, and there are people going about their business. There's shops on both sides. There is a smithy ahead to the right, and you can hear the popping of the fire. You do not hear any like actual banging of steel at the moment, but you can hear the forge popping. And if you don't want to miss any of the story, Low Moon Origins, Uprising, or Outsiders, like and follow our podcast. Please share it with friends. You see to your right, down an alleyway, and the alley goes right to the base of the wall of the city. And the last, say, 20 or so feet of it, on both sides are solid wall, because there are buildings that are built up against the wall. And,
solid stone?
Yes, they are stone. And you see an individual wrapped in a cloak, like against the cold air, except it's not really cold.
I put my hand in
that kind of thing. Come down the alleyway from the direction of the wall, and they just are walking towards you.
I just kind of reach for my sword.
Okay. I mean, theoretically, you can just keep walking.
I do, but I kind of slowed down.
Okay. Well, just a few more steps, and you're out of view because you just happen to be lined up with the alleyway. Okay. And then you pick your way through the crowd, and you see the corral ahead on the left, and you hear the snap of a trainer's whip, like a pa-cha! And then you hear horses' hooves in the mud.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna head there. Well, you said a trainer's whip?
Caleb has one.
Do you want to?
Just get a horse whip.
So I have an actual trainer's whip on
you. You do not like horse whips.
Of course I don't.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, I hate them. In the game, in real life, I hate them too.
This is an actual trainer's
but
whip.
the sound's kind of cool.
Do you want a sound effect for it?
There you go.
That's what this is called. It's called trainer's whip.
Okay. Anyway, so as you're approaching the corral on the left, you can see that there is a small crowd in front of the actual fenced-in area, which is the corral itself. There's stables to the left, a large square building with a peach roof. And interestingly enough, there's a young boy, can't be more than 12 or 13 years old, who's sitting up on top of the peach roof. The roof is thatched, so it's like woven together sticks and straw. And then the building itself is stone, and there's a door at the front, and there's an older woman sitting in a rocking chair at the door. But then in front of the actual corral, there are about 15 or 20 people, and they are varying. They all appear to be like normal citizens, upper, lower middle class. And inside the corral, that they're all looking at the corral, you can see that they have about a dozen horses in it, and the horses are running in a square, basically running around the outside edge of the corral. And there's a dozen of them, and there's a trainer in there, and he has gotten them moving using the whip, but he's not using it actively. He just got them moving. And the horses are going around the outside, and then there's a couple of other guys who are just raising their hands and keeping them toward the outside of the corral. They're racing them, not racing, but running them around the outside of the corral.
I'm gonna go find someone I can buy a tent and see the price.
Okay. Well, the workers of the corral all appear to be in the corral at the moment. There's 3 guys total. And so you kind of edge up in the crowd and see what's going on. Meanwhile, you edge Pigeon up to the end of approximately where you think the alley is. And just as you get to the alleyway, like literally as you're arriving, within a split second, you see a single individual dressed in tightly wrapped clothing.
Could you steal something again?
Anyway, you see a single individual wrapped in tightly wrapped clothing, and then they have a hood and sort of an extra piece of cloth, like a scarf, wrapped around their hood. And so you can just see their eyes, and you would guess, because of the kind of curviness of the form, that it's actually a female. They don't have any weapons that you can see, but she's just getting to the end of it. So as she comes out the alleyway, she's like 5 or 10 feet away. That's what you say? Okay. She looks at you like wide-eyed. And then she drops the veil away from her face and unwraps it so that you can see most of her face now. And she says, "Good day, my lady. I'm sorry. Are you speaking to me?" And you see she is a woman probably in her mid to late 20s. Probably pretty, you think. She's got a kind of a neatly shaped jaw, almost kind of triangular, but fair skin. Could be Elven, but definitely no facial hair. I would say cheek form, and her eyebrows appear to be neatly trimmed. Her hair is probably neatly done, although it's mostly covered by the hood. And she says, "I'm sorry, were you speaking to me?"
Yeah. I'm not.
As one of Rosie slips off the back of the horse and back of the mule and falls back away from the conversation a little bit. She's there, but she's standing up a little bit. Okay. And the woman looks a little like, "What you doing?" And she says, "I was just out for an evening stroll. I must be getting home. It's going to get cold out. Did you need something?"
No, I did not mean to offend. Making sure all is well. Before I saw someone who could have been robbing or possibly gone with the law. They were using a boat from the top of the roof.
Oh? Roll d20.
13.
And you think there is something disingenuous, like she's faking when she goes, "Oh, it looks like her hair," but it seems less, like her behavior is curious a little bit. And she goes, "Well, I tend to try to stay out of such things. If there's trouble in the area, I think I'll make myself scarce." "What's going on at the gate?"
An
You
argument.
hear one of the guardsmen yell, "Let's get this taken care of right now." His voice echoes down the street.
An argument between two merchants. Just silly run over.
Oh, okay. But no one's hurt or fighting?
No hand fights, but voices very easily.
Very well. If you have no further need of me, I'll be on my way.
Okay.
Okay. She turns and heads in the general direction of the corral on that same road. As you go down.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
You don't want to pay attention?
And somebody following Dan.
This guy, she's really
Well, that's where I was going, so I'm gonna get on the mule and we're gonna
Okay,
go.
Rosie mounts up with you. Roll a deck check.
We'll keep an eye on her, but we will not look suspicious. We'll keep an eye in the side of our eye, basically, and glimpsing over every once in a while, but we're gonna head over to Dan. 7.
Alright, so you climb up on the saddle, no problem, and Rosie's behind you, and you meander on down the street. Okay. Meanwhile, at the corral, you realize that the reason the people are gathered around is because they're about to auction off a small group of riding horses. So, anyway, so there is one warhorse in the corral as well, but it's not going to be part of the auction. He's just explaining it. So there are 5 riding horses in the corral. And so a riding horse is a sleek and strong animal. Okay, so it's not a fighting animal, not really real tough. You wouldn't be able to ride it like for jousting or sword combat like that, but it gets you around place to place, and it's pretty useful. And cost-wise, it's it's about the only way to go, probably. You probably don't have the kind of money necessary to buy a warhorse unless it's cheaper than you expect. You figure they're pretty expensive. And plus you got saddle and saddle blanket, bit, and bridle. Okay. So, so there's one worker by the fence. He's actually kind of straddling the fence. He's got one leg on both sides, 4 rails high, sitting on both sides. He's a young man, probably in his early 20s, very physical looking. He's wearing a tunic that might be just a little too small because it's stretching tight across his muscles. He has the whip, which you heard before, but he's not using it. It's just on his person. And he is the one describing how the auction is going to go. You hear him say, "All right, we'll cut one out of the herd, and then that'll be the horse that you're bidding on."
I kind of miss it. You just don't want to buy one? What is it in the auction?
Not right now.
Okay.
Have to wait until the auction's over at least. And then we only have, right now, one warhorse and one riding horse that's not in the auction.
How much are those?
So we have a light war, and it's a fine specimen.
Probably expensive then? Hold on, just let me see it. Just let me see it.
150 gold.
Oh, that's a lot.
Here, you can have that
Another 30 for saddle, bit, bridle, saddle blanket, brush.
The ones in the auctions, do they come with a saddle?
No, you have to buy a saddle as well.
All
right, so he cuts one away. It is a brown mare. He says roughly 2 years old. Fine specimen. Fast afoot, and you can see them all run. They all look healthy. That's probably why they did that. Okay. Meanwhile, you come up to the back of the crowd where he's watching the auction. He's in the front because he heads forward near the worker, so you can't easily speak with him.
I'm gonna bid 25.
Okay. First of all, he says, we'll start the bidding at the minimum bid, which is 8 gold pieces. And then one of the guys raises his hand, but probably several hands go up actually, to bid 8 gold pieces.
I bid 25.
How does bidding work? Nobody ever explained this to me. I need to know.
Basically, you're just offering to pay that amount, and then if you get when you win, you're required to pay that amount and take what you want.
That is land.
Okay, so you're willing to pay 8 gold as well, all right?
Oh, I mean, I have a 25 gold too.
Right, so
Your maximum is 25 gold.
so it goes. Then they go, all right, 10 gold,
24.
11, 12, we'll bid 12 to the young man here next to me, 13 there, 14 here, 15 to the young man next to me, 16, okay, what am I bid, 16 gold, 16 there, 17 gold there, 18, it is a fine mare, anyone else, 18 here, and 19 there, 19, 25 to close the bidding, 25 to close the bidding, anybody 26, going once, going twice, 25 gold it is, the young man here, okay.
My trade bar.
All right, we have 25 gold piece trade bar, okay. He says, if you'll go there, just go to the lady here on the porch, pay, and then you can pick up your horse whenever you're ready.
I go.
All right?
I go.
Bidding for a beautiful man.
Right? So it's a chocolate brown, so it's a little darker than ruddy brown, chocolate brown there, and it's completely chocolate brown. There's no markings on it, no discolorations, no black, no white.
I've never seen that before.
Not super rare, but uncommon. It's one of the possibilities, probably. 1 in 1,000 horses, probably.
Oh.
Anyway, and it's very well muscled, very strong.
Yay!
And it does come with papers with a recent history. So
he does later.
she says, as you approach her, she's probably in her early 60s. She has kind of a thin face. Probably she's pretty enough now to have been beautiful in her youth, but she's quite a bit older, and her hand shakes slightly as she accepts the trade bar, and she provides you with a paper which says that you are the proper owner of the horse. And the paper does give its recent history. The seller is a Baron Oben, and he's the previous owner. And the horse has had no recent health history, no illnesses, has not been wounded in the time that Baron Oben. And Baron Oben was the only previous owner that he said was like.
That's from the wild.
No, I think of the word. Breeds, there we go. He breeds horses. So yeah, so he raised it, and then, but it has been ridden and it has been raced, but it's never had a very successful racing history like an auto race or anything. And so she shows you the hooks of the horse, and it's well shod, and there are no stones or gravel, or they're not packed with dirt at the moment. Okay, and so she says, do you need anything to go with it? And the horse's name.
Have nothing on the horse.
Coco.
The horse's name is Brown Steel.
I like that name. A saddle?
You could call him BX.
We've got a saddle for a riding horse for you. We can sell you a saddle for, since you bought the horse here, we can sell you a saddle for 4 gold pieces. Do you not have 4 gold pieces?
No.
Okay.
I only have silver now.
That's going to be a problem. Okay. She says you get your saddle blanket for 3 silver pieces.
And then, but you'll just be riding the blanket.
Oh. Okay. You said 3?
Yeah. They might have saddles that you can get, like new saddles you can get at the retreat.
If not,
and you're going to need a bit and bridle. And there's one on the horse now, but at some point in time you're going to want to replace it.
I will.
Because it's not real heavy duty.
Eventually I will replace it.
And she does tell you, just for future reference, normal bit and bridle runs between 10 and 15 silver.
Okay.
But it'll be fine for now. It's a racing bit, it's not for respect.
Yeah.
Could be a problem in the wilderness. Right?
Oh.
Are you ready to receive the horse?
Yes, I'm ready to receive the horse.
So they bring the horse through the corral, into the building, and through the building, and it comes out that door. There are people buying the other horses even while you're standing there doing that. What are you doing while he's doing that? You're watching to see how much the other horse is sitting. You're in the back of the crowd where he was buying the horse. You saw him buy the horse. You saw him walk over to pay for the horse. Now you could go to where he's at easily because there's no crowd there.
Do I see the lady there?
Yes, he's taking his money and getting it.
No, I mean the...
Oh, the other lady?
Yeah.
So you look around and you see that she passed the crowd and it's continuing down the street. You do notice that she stays to the right-hand side of the street. She doesn't just walk down the middle of the street or even on the right side of the street. She stays way over to the right along the front of the porches. By the time he's purchased the horse and is paying for the horse, you can still see her, but she's pretty far away, like kind of ways.
I want to more like question O'Teal about this because she could be dangerous and he has contact with every tree around, and if he was dangerous in the river, he was, and he probably know a little bit more about it.
Maybe. If there's reason for him to pay attention.
We are meant to seek the badness in the world and to reveal and fix it. She could be a reason. She seems very suspicious.
Do I see that?
Yes. You don't see it.
And I need,
They're sitting on the back of the mule at the back of the crowd that's still conducting the auction.
I need to
They've sold 3
talk
horses now
to
so far.
Dan.
Okay. So you
I start
easily
walking
have
out.
those. It takes like 20 seconds to get there.
Yeah.
Okay. So she edges the mule over in your direction, and you're waiting. They have not actually brought the horse out, so they're going to bring them out in a second. Oh no, they did bring it out. He
Yeah.
checked the hooves and everything. That's it. Yeah. So So he has a horse. He bought a beautiful chocolate brown light riding horse.
I might change the name.
I have a pigeon.
Okay.
And
Jumps
I'm
down
just
off the
holding
mule.
it.
Possible ways of
The pigeon edges forward, and the mule and the horse kind of like
Stare
nuzzle,
at each other?
sniff each other. They rub faces.
Isn't she pretty?
It's a boy.
It's a girl.
Oh, it's a girl.
Yeah. Mare's a girl. Studs
I
are.
like that. Girl.
She's gorgeous.
I might change the name.
Pigeon and currently named Brown Steel seem to be getting along fine.
The current name is Brown Steel. Might change the
So we have
change the name to
Pigeon,
Brown.
what if we named him Robin?
Might change the
Robin
name.
might be better for
I might change the name
Do
to
we know of any brown birds?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Google that.
Turkeys.
Are there any brown birds? Oh yeah. Sparrows. Her name is Sparrow.
That'd be cool, Pigeon and
That's the only
Sparrow.
one that shows up. Sparrow. Sparrow.
Do you like that? I do. Pigeon and Sparrow?
I'm keeping Sparrow. I'm gonna change it to Sparrow.
Okay.
Pigeon and Sparrow.
You got two
I love
birds?
that.
Yes. And now I have a name.
Okay.
Pigeon and Sparrow.
All right. So you've been staying there now talking about the name of the horse for about a minute.
I don't have a saddle.
Well,
I don't know.
I have something I need to tell you that we named
How much is the saddle?
I think she said like $3, 5.
Yes, lady. Excuse me. Yes? How much is the saddle? We can sell you one for 5 gold. I'll buy one. Let's get him a saddle for his riding horse.
Thank you, Rosie.
And she
You're
bought
welcome.
the mule for me too.
Very nice.
I have money. I'll be less nice when I have less money.
I still think you'll be nice.
Nice in other ways.
We'll see.
I still think you'll be nice.
So the lady points to a saddle that you can have.
I will one day.
All brown colored. Not brand new, but it's in good shape. So
You can talk to me while I'm getting second.
Okay.
as you approach the saddles, a young boy, probably like 12 or 13, comes out of the building, and she tells him about it, and he walks over and offers to carry the saddle for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you pick up the saddle. You already got the saddle blanket on the back of the horse. Saddle blanket on the saddle. And you throw this saddle up there. Do you actively have the proficiency horsemanship yet? Interested in giving financially to Low Moon and support the campaign? Text LMGIVE, that's LMGIVE, to 419-419-0095.
I have horsemanship. Yes, I do not have putting on the saddle. That should count.
Yeah, right, so just roll 10 dice. Just not roll proficiency high.
Here, that's that one and this one. 80. What?
Okay, so you've got the saddle strapped on. It fits nicely. The buckles are in good condition. No wear or tear on the strap underneath. Okay, you swing on and you reach down, you grab the reins, and you are seated on the back of your own horse.
And I get up on Pigeon. How are we like shorter or taller than him, or are we about the same height?
So the mule is just a little shorter, but not much, like maybe 4 inches at the shoulder. Not much.
Well,
Something about a span, so maybe more
Let's
like 6
walk.
or 8.
Why you can talk.
we need to go somewhere else because
Okay.
it's
We met a
something
lady.
about OT.
We met a lady who was acting kind of suspiciously.
I met somebody. I
Okay.
was walking in the hallway.
Guys.
And somebody.
We need to go somewhere else because we need to talk about OT.
Okay.
Okay.
You rein the mule and you rein the horse, and the two of you walk down the road. You're going in the opposite direction of the gate or back toward the gate? The lady went in the opposite direction.
Okay. So why are we walking?
Opposite direction.
While we're walking, I met a person with tight clothes, like not looks like tight clothes, a cloak, something, and they were walking out of an alleyway.
As you are leaving, by the way, you do notice that what must be the one warhorse that they have for sale is standing in the corner. They're still moving the other horses around and stuff. He's standing in the corner of the stables, kind of watching in your general direction as the two of you are walking.
Wait.
It's an all gray.
I kind of want
white
see
warhorse
him. He might need something.
with white
Maybe
streaks in his name.
maybe this horse is like his like mate or something. He's watching us.
The warhorse is a stallion. It is a male horse.
I want to go see him.
Okay. So if you delay too long, mess with the horses, the lady will definitely be lost somewhere in the city.
Let's go.
Let's go very quickly.
Okay, I walk over.
So you ride over to the horses.
I come over
I
to
let my
him a
horse-
bit faster than a walk.
Both of you roll percentile dice.
I'm going a bit faster than a walk.
Alright, for over percentile. Oh, I got 0.9. I rolled a 0.
55.
Nine. 09.
55.
Okay. So as you approach, he does kind of half a step back and kick some mud, but he doesn't run away. He stays at the fence.
There you go.
Alright. I decide to get off Pigeon and I hand the reins to Dan.
Okay.
So I can walk over to him, kind of bringing Pigeon right up through the best idea.
Okay. The mare that you're steering keeps wanting to kind of like edge close to the fence. So
Go.
Let her go. Alright, so she gets up close to the fence, and the two horses, the mare that you're riding and the warhorse, kind of like greet each other. They rub heads for a second, and then they're staying. So she's at her head in the corral, and now there's like a 3-foot gap, and then he's got his head out of the corral. So not like side to side or touching anymore, but they did greet for a second. Okay, and then
They know each other. Does one of the workers notice?
No one's paying any attention. Really, they're all dealing with the auction. Last couple horses like getting sold. And
Maybe an apple?
Pretty too.
I get an apple. I like go
I have.
mine.
It's okay. I have a bunch of extra.
Okay. Give him
Yep.
one.
I have them for Pigeon. So I get them.
okay.
I will pay you
I'm
an
gonna
apple
assume
later.
Pigeon wants one.
Alright, so you give one to Pigeon, and he takes the whole thing in his mouth and does
And
his
then I
thing.
give one to the major.
The one horse.
Okay, so he takes it, and then he steps back away from the fence so that his head is fully inside the fence by a couple feet, and he's eating the apple.
We should probably get going now.
Yeah, we need to catch the lady. Come on, I'll tell you more about what happened. We gotta go.
Which way should she go?
The
I
opposite
tossed the
direction from the fence.
I dropped the.
Okay, so you grab the.
I got.
You think that Pigeon kind of like rotated around in the right direction without being steered? Like he's cooperative, basically.
Good boy, Pigeon.
Okay, when you grab the rein, you jump up, but make a dex check. You're mounting with the rider, not mounting with Rosie.
Pull up.
Okay, so as you swing up, your foot hits Rosie on the side of the head, and the two of you are both loose in the saddle. Make a dex check again. If you fail this time, you fall.
Oh, great.
Is there any way to catch?
No, I don't think so.
10.
Okay, so you're fine, and she's fine.
That was scary.
Mine on heel.
Oh,
She's like, hey, careful.
sorry.
I'm okay.
Let's go.
What's Pigeon doing? Peeing on the street?
My horse.
He peed once on the way down from the gate. He's still there.
You have
Alright,
to
let's
do
keep
the
going.
thing from last time.
So I gotta. She knows you.
I will if you'll stop asking. You're ruining the game. You're not the game master. I'm the game master. I control everything but what you control, which is your character. So you stay in character and don't worry about what Pigeon's doing.
Okay.
If you want to ask at any time, is he peeing? That would be fine, but that's not the same thing as saying he's peeing. So you say, is my mule peeing? And I'll let you know whether or not he's peeing.
Or I'll just randomly say it.
So I'll tell you if you notice. You may pee and you may not notice. Because he's doing other things. Now you're walking around going, oh, is he peeing? Is he peeing? Is he peeing? Is he peeing? Anyway, here we go.
I get walking.
You're riding your horse and mule down the street in the direction that the woman went.
How long do you think we have until we have to get going?
It is getting pretty dark now. So in about 10 minutes, the twilight will be gone, and the long shadows that now bathe the alleyways and under the roofs and everything like that will fill the streets. People are already lighting torches. There are no lamps here, so there are no lamp posts.
I have a candle.
What intuition?
I mean, you can get into vision and there will be torches. So you're going to be able to see, that's not the problem. You just won't be able to easily see into dark recesses.
Are we able to turn our intuition off?
So you're full-blooded elf, and you can use intuition or regular vision. Usually intuition is better, but sometimes it's not if you can see things in full detail at great distance. So usually
Undead.
or undead, right? But you have to know to be on normal vision. So. Okay, anyway, so you're moving down the street, looking for her. Second base. All right. At about 100 yards away, and you're on normal vision, because it's going 90 yards. About 100 yards away, you see a torch flare up. Somebody has just lit a torch outside in the street, and that's getting near the edge of the marketplace. So it's going into the other part of town, basically.
I pick up this.
And you see when the torch flares up, it's brighter than normal. Because that's how they are when they first come on. They're bright for a second, and then they kind of go to a normal dull roar, which is pretty bright. You can see clearly about 30 yards on the torch.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
But when it first flares up, you can see maybe like 40 yards, or something, 35, 40 yards. Anyway, when it flares up, you can clearly see the woman. Still has her hood up, and you're seeing her from behind for a second. Like it flares up, and she happens to be walking past the torch. And as it does flare up, you notice that she looks to the right. You can't see her face, but she looks to the right as if to say, "Oh, the torch flared up."
Is that
She's
so?
about 100 yards away. It does look like her. You think, because you're seeing her from behind.
I think that's her.
I pick up this.
Looks
So
like her.
do I.
Okay. So you move your horses up to a fast walk.
Warhorse.
Okay. After a fast walk comes a trot. Trots are bouncy. They're fast, that's like the human running, but they're pretty bouncy.
I'll be fine.
Well,
mean-
not trotting.
If you go to a trot, the real problem with trotting is probably
Please.
accidentally running into somebody. So,
That would suck very bad.
What did she sound like? Like, was she
he said, what is she saying?
like,
Not like a servant, maybe. She,
Kind of. She looked kind of pretty, but she was very suspicious. And I thought, when I was talking about somebody possibly doing something illegal, it's a rope coming down, and it got weird up. But I saw when I was watching the merchants, she said, merchants. There were two merchants fighting. That's what all the crowd was about.
did you find her out there?
No. And, could have been there, but didn't seem. But she seemed very suspicious and probably to get away, I would suppose. But I have a feeling you might need to,
Stop her and question
well,
her?
I kind of already did. But we don't want to seem like rude. But
at
we
this
do
point,
need to
at
talk
a fast walk, you get to about the place at which she was at when the torch flared up. And you can see that there are torches ever so often down the street, and most of the street is lit by the torchlight, but otherwise it's dark outside. The sun is completely gone. You can see that it's going to be a scant star night, not a lot of stars, maybe a third to a quarter as much as you normally see. And you can't make out any of them with torchlight ones because the bright light kind of becomes the starlight. Not a lot of clouds. Just like about 15% canopy and high clouds. It doesn't look like it's going to rain anytime soon. The temperature is cool. It's already in the mid to low 50s. And so you expect it to go down to, into the 40s at least overnight, if not the 30s. So it could get even frost overnight, theoretically. But as you're passing that place where you saw her at the torch before, 3 torches down on the right-hand side, which puts her at about 70 or 80 yards away, you see her turn to the right and go into a building. It has a front door that's right on the edge of the street. And it is a 2-story building made of stone, and it has a rounded facade on the front. So it goes up, and then at the top is like just an arch on the top of the building. Okay. Continue that way. Okay. I mean, at this pace, you'll be there also. Now, you can keep talking if you want, but that's just how far you have gotten while you're talking.
I think if we might need to contact here because we know for a fact if there's a reason he would pay attention and he would know more about it.
Well, let's contact him real quick.
We have to find a place to do it that nobody will see.
It takes about a minute to activate the stones and actually make a connection. So, time is sensitive.
How far away are we from the building?
60 yards. So we'll take less than 30 seconds.
Get in front of the building first.
So, is there any place in front of the building or around it that we could hide that nobody will find out?
There's alleyways. There's dark spaces in between the porches.
We'll go in the...
Let's go in an alleyway.
Did you stop to have this conversation?
No.
No.
Because you're there now.
Okay.
Go to the alleyway right next to the house.
Okay, so it's not a house. It's set on the front of it. It says Brakeham's Motel. And there is a glass window in the front left, which has shutters, but the shutters are open. And inside, you can see a round table with a lantern on it. The room is lit. And you can see 3 men at the table. And then behind that, a little ways, maybe like 8 or 10 feet or so, you can see another table. And there are 2 men at that table. And then behind that, another table, all round tables. And there's one person sitting at that far back round table, kind of with their back to the corner, and you can't make them out very well if they're looking that far back. It is clear glass. This is a nice glass window. Remember, you're in Southern Cove, so they do have glass here. And in that well-lit room, at the back of the room, you can see the lady, and she is just then, as you're pulling up, talking to somebody who's standing at a doorway with light behind them. It looks like it might lead to a back room or a kitchen or something like that. And just as you come up in front of the window, she is talking to that person in the back of the room. All the people who are sitting at the table are eating food. They have plates of food and mugs of drink. And you can see steam rising. The window does have a little bit of humidity, like condensation on it around the outside edges. So like where the frame is and like that, there's condensation. Probably where it leaks the most cold air, probably. In front of the building, there is a place to tie up horses, and there are 2 horses tied up there. Both are riding horses. And then there's an alleyway on either side of the building.
Check out Amaldan Inc. for incredible opportunities to support the ministry.
Both of those alleyways are lit by first light for the first like 10-15 feet, but then back once you get back further in the alleyway, it starts to see light.
I feel like she's just a normal person going through the car.
I mean, she said she was going to look, but she wasn't surprised to tell us that. Besides, we're here and meant to protect people from evil. If there is nothing, then there is nothing. But it's better to be safe than it is to be safe.
Alright, so you're going to ride the mule, and we're running out of time, so keep the story going for the last few minutes we've got. Horse and the mule into the alleyway.
Yeah, and then I hop off so we can contact.
Okay. You managed to dismount no problem, no kicking Rosie in the head or anything. The horse and the mule, neither one of them have any trouble with being in the alleyway. A rat does scurry along the alleyway in front of you into the darkness. There's some garbage on the right-hand side, and it comes out of a pile of garbage along the wall and then disappears into the darkness. So in here, you could probably easily switch to infravision. Are you switching to infravision?
Yes.
Roll a d6, both of you. Subtract 4. Okay, so you switch automatically. There's no delay. So both of you switch to infravision with no delay. Rosie's the same way. Alright, so you're dismounted. Rosie's still on Pigeon. You're on the back of sparrow or brown steel.
Sparrow.
And
I'm still good.
are you attempting to contact Old Tier? Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Our contact is Dan.
Takes 2 people.
Contact.
Watching.
Okay. Or am I contacting Rosie?
Rosie.
Alright, Rosie was also there too, so I'm
That's
going to
fine.
contact this person.
Okay.
I'm watching.
Rosie produces 1 stone. Alright, the stones glow bright green for a second, kind of like a flare up in the air. And
Nobody outside of us can hear.
there is a delay as you're waiting for, and actually probably most of the sound from the marketplace has died down as well. Okay. And Old Tier says, Selena,
That is
Rosie,
me.
I'm here, she says. I am here. It is good to hear from you.
You too.
I have been keeping tabs on you when I can. Are you well?
We are.
How might I assist you today?
I do not know if you have seen anything, but I would know if it was something of importance, you would keep focus on it. There was a lady dressed in all black. She acted very suspicious back in an alleyway bush, and a rope was put up from the top of a wall. When I mentioned that in a conversation with her, she acted very scurry-like, as you could say.
Okay. So as you're sitting on the horse, kind of paying attention to surroundings, and the 2 of them are focused on talking to Old Tier, and you see down the alleyway about 30 feet or so, a door opens and light comes out, and you see a man come out of the door, and he is carrying a bag,
Great.
a brown kind of burlap bag. It looks like it's garbage basically or junk,
I can find my horse, sir.
and he walks out and he dumps the bag in a wooden bin that's across the alleyway from the door. And
Please don't tell me to do this.
then as he turns around, he looks straight at the 2 of you. You on a riding horse, Rosie on a mule and bending over, and the 2 of them touching stones. The effect is the stones are not making light anymore, really. It's very dim. He probably can't see what they're doing.
You better get over to him instead before he realizes
that
what we are
direction.
doing.
Okay, so you edge the horse that way. Okay.
I put my hand on my sword.
Roll percentile ace.
I think he might have just been putting garbage away.
Seems like it.
That's 77.
Goodness.
77.
Okay, so you edge the horse that way, and apparently, you and the horse are not completely gelling on the same wavelength as you're just trying to edge it forward, and the horse begins to quickly bolt forward toward him, and he kind of squeaks like a little girl. He's like, ah! As
Stop.
the horse starts forward rapidly, and you can roll a ride check to keep your horse from getting too close to him or hurting him. So it's a percentile dice roll. Lower the better.
That's 45. So.
Okay. So, all right. So you rein the horse to a stop, but by the time you do so, he's within 4 feet or so of the guy.
Does he know you?
The horse lowers her head down as if she's going to try to bite him or smack him or whatever. And he scrambles back and leaves the bag laying in the street and goes back in the door and shuts the door.
Well, that's one way to get a man away from us.
What was that for?
She just snorts.
Do you not like him?
I gotta be nice to man. I gotta be nice to
She
people.
doesn't answer.
And now I
She
walk.
pees in the alleyway.
No, it's the horse.
Oh, they do that.
I'm supposed
So I walk closer to the door.
The horse.
And then I stop, maybe 5 feet away from it.
Okay, all right. You are just in front of the door. It is, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is shut and latched.
Why would I make it?
You can see light coming from underneath of it. You can hear very faint sounds, like the occasional clink, kind of a rubbing noise.
There, I made the rubbing noise.
Yes.
Thanks.
Oh,
So close. What does Old Tier say?
Okay. Meanwhile, he had said, "How might I help you?" And you were describing the woman, basically.
Yes.
And he says, "This is near where you are now."
slightly. The woman is in the building that we stand by now.
I cannot see where she is, but I believe she snuck over the wall illegally.
Okay.
This is what I thought too.
If you can get inside to find out what she's up to without any risk to yourself, I'd suggest you go ahead.
This is what we would do.
Be safe.
Plus, we may contact you again soon to tell you what we find out.
They can't see me, can they?
Who?
Rosie and Selena, they couldn't see what I was doing.
No, well, I mean, they were focused on what they were doing. They probably could if you were in the right direction. Rosie might have, because she was facing that way. Okay, so you're in the alleyway, prepared to find some way to get inside. I mean, theoretically, you should be able to enter the restaurant, at least, without any problem. But you now know you have been asked by Old Tyr to follow up and find out what she might be up to. We'll have to stop there, unfortunately.
I have a plan there. My plan is...
Yep, you and Caleb can talk or text about your plan later. Get ready to go. Oh, well, you can talk on the way. Hurry up. Get ready to go.
Oh, okay.
My plan is we can go in.
I'm going through the back door that's right here in front of me.
No, you're not, because you have to report with me. Okay?
I'm
We're going to go in the front door. We're going to tell them we need a room, and that's how we're going to get in suspiciously. And I'll say it.
I'm just going to go in, because honestly...
No, you're not. I will smack you upside the head. Selena's not afraid to do that to you. A horse, that's a different
It
story.
is quite obvious that Old Tyr wanted you to be discreet. That is for sure.
There's a back door. I'll just go through the back door.
That does not sound discreet.
Or at least I'm checking the bag first to see what it's doing and picking it up.
It's quite evident that he was taking out the garbage.
I'm picking it up at least. I made a guy.
Master Thantapper, your mother has been looking for you.
I'm gonna go in there.
The Duke is rather occupied at the moment, but you are welcome to enter and wait.
Random sound effects.
I really hope you're gonna be able to use that sometime for them. That'd be so cool if they enter a place and they're looking for the Duke, and then there's a little guy. He's got an accent, maybe a dwarf or something like that, and he has an accent. And
All right, get ready to go. Your practice starts now in less than 15 minutes. Go to your mother. Practice at 4. It is 3:47.
What do we do?
10-minute drive.
I'll just sit in the.
I think wait.
I'll just sit in the stands and play my Switch.
Yep.
That's what I do in there.
That would probably work.
Except for the stands might not be folded out.
Even so, you usually can sit up on the top level.
True.
Like I do at my school during core class and play around.
Gotta go.
What did you say, Mom? I'm gonna be late. Yeah, I'm not even changed yet. I'll have to change when I get there.
Oh god. My class is almost just picked up. I officially got a horse.
Yep.
I officially got a pet.
Honestly, I'm surprised nobody overbid
And
it.
a prank doll. Most likely I will be
Well, you bought the first one, so that helps.
I did.
You bought the first one, which resulted in them thinking, well, I can just buy another one later. So.
Stay tuned for more Lomunian adventures.